What's up, everybody? It's your guy, Derek 420 Colorado, coming at you live and direct from the Dream Farm Studios. Oh, we'll let some folks get on in here, and as most of y'all can see, this is not Shauna Shores. This is not Vanna Wife, but as y'all know that she had to create this event because mine wasn't working. So, it's me, Amario. And we'll let some folks get in here and kind of give everybody a little update on what's going on here at the Dream Farm with me. Some of y'all may know, some of you may not know. I had a pretty serious snowboarding injury on Sunday. I managed to blow out all the tendons and ligaments in my knee. Woohoo! It's pretty sure I have torn my ACL, my LCL, and strained my MCL. I sent it off a really big jump at Winter Park, and just didn't have enough speed to clear the knuckle. So it's been kind of crappy the last couple of days for me here at the Dream Farm, just because I blew up my knee. So yeah, that's what we got going on. So I'm sorry for anybody that's reached out, or if I haven't been real responsive or anything like that. Again, I'm just dealing with my knee being blown up. So we will just wanted to kind of let everybody know I'm on crutches. And so yeah, it's been a little hobbled here at the Dream Farm, but you know, it happens. Oh, that sucks, Jake. Oof. Yeah, it's a thing. It happens. I'm not too surprised, just because of the level of progression that I was, going for this season and everything like that. So, it sucks. I'm just really hoping I can even ski next year, because it wasn't good. I've got a video if anybody wants to see it. It's pretty gruesome. So, yep, that's what we got going on here at the Dream Farm. We'll let some folks get on here. So I don't know how long and how in-depth this one's going to be, everybody, just because, like I said, I'm sitting here. It's pretty uncomfortable for me to do anything other than be laid up at the current moment. So, yeah, that's what we got going on here. But y'all know, a little old knee ain't going to stop me from checking in with my people and having a little bit of a Talk About It Tuesday session here. You know what I mean? Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, Steven, it does. It hurts real bad. The pain level's pretty intense. I have zero support in my knee. It's not the best, but hey, it's life, guys. It's gals, ladies and gents. It's life. I have been working and trying to get to a goal and progress and really push myself this season on my snowboarding. And I'm not super surprised that I injured myself. I'm super surprised at the level of jump that I decided to try to attempt in an attempt to oppress my friend Rocco, which I did. So I can say, to some degree, it was worth it. He's been somebody I've always looked up to as far as my snowboarding goes, because, he goes a lot, and he's just, he's good at it. And so I always try to do good and impress him. And he said, and I quote, "That was the most baller thing I've ever seen in my life." I was about 15 feet out in the air. It was an X Games level jump. And I just, I didn't do it right. So that's what that lesson they say, as y'all have heard me say a lot of times about cultivation of cannabis, lessons learned hardest are learned best. This one's a pretty hard one, and so I'm going to learn this one real good. Either stop trying to jump at 40 years old, or make sure you just do stuff that's within your skill level. So let's get a dab fired up here. Let's get a pre-420 dab going for everybody. Six to 9 months on the recovery. That's what they're saying. Yeah, 6 to 9 months is what they're saying on the recovery. But that's just like to be able to get back to like snowboarding and being able to do what I was doing on a snowboard. Just regular walking and stuff. It shouldn't be that long. Yeah, I'm not 21 anymore. And, I'm finding that out slowly but surely. But, it is what it is. And so I just wanted to kind of give everybody an update and let everybody know what was going on with me here at the Dream Farm. I like to give y'all an insight into my personal life and the things that I do outside of cultivation of cannabis. And one of those things is definitely snowboarding. So, the price we pay for exhilaration and adrenaline. Woohoo! It was a big ass jump, y'all. It was big. Dab the pain away. Yeah. All right, we got 130 folks in here. We've got 1 minute till 4:20. We'll go ahead and do this another official 420 Dabble Rooski. We'll do Plant of the Week, Member of the Week. I'll go over just a couple of things here quick about harvesting, and then I'm going to go get my ass back on the couch, folks. Because I still have to get prepared and get ready to go to Kerrville and go see all my people out there, which ought to be fun. I did get a scooter, one of those little electric scooters, so I should be able to get around pretty easily, and hopefully the swelling goes down and the pain meds work, and we just keep on the good road to recovery here. Hey, it's 420, everybody. Why don't you get those dabbers ready? Let's get those dabbers hot. Pack up all those bongs, load up all those joints, and let's smoke a little pot. Woohoo! We get the dab of the week going here. Yes, it is needed, as most folks have commented. Yes, the dabs are definitely needed in this time. I'm actually rubbing the I need to do that. Baby, remind me to rub some of CBD on it. It really helped. Oh, this is the Ocean Beach. The Cookies by Harmony Ocean Beach. Live batter with some a little bit of blueberry distillate in it. A little juicy drip in there. Oh yeah, I smoke a little pot. Yeah. Members of the week and Plant of the Week this week were Billy Powell, Brian Talinda, and Stephen Moffat. That's right. I don't have my little thing as what they were for. I know Billy Powell's was for the fascication polyploid that he had that was really cool. So that was super. Ryan Talinda got bear fist, something for a bear fist. And Stephen Moffat for being cool. So just, like I said, I just want to kind of catch everybody up. If I've been slow to respond to anybody that sent a direct message or anything like that, it's just because I've been really kind of struggle and trying to just be in a good spot to be able to do all that. And it's been tough when you don't have any ligaments in your knee. They're important. Who would have thought? Ligaments are important to mobility and walking. So, we'll talk a little bit about harvesting. Like I said, this one isn't going to be too long, folks. We're going to, I'm going to go back on the couch very soon. But I wanted to talk to y'all still and continue our harvesting conversation and ultimately the drying and curing part of the post-harvest process. Okay? So drying and curing, and drying specifically, guys. Curing is great. It is amazing, and it continues the breakdown of starches into sugars, which are fruity, and they give this stuff the tastes that we want, all that kind of stuff. Curing is great, okay? It's not nearly as important as being able to dry properly and correctly. I think I've got 3 or 4 people right now that are on a constant DM track with me. They send me messages all the time who are in the harvesting stage, and a few that are in the process of getting their grows whole. They haven't even started growing yet. I've told people many, many times, and I may just kind of start this as a constant theme for anybody who's starting and thinking about cultivating cannabis at home. Build your dry rooms first, people. Yeah, I know it sounds wild. It sounds crazy. It sounds insane. What is he talking about? We got to grow the whole thing. Nah. It is more important to be able to dry your cannabis correctly and properly at a proper rate to have the proper processes happen in order for you to get top tier smoke. Okay, it's more important. I have seen more great grows ruined by terrible dries than anything I've ever can care to even count, really. Just go to the dispensary, folks. That's what you'll see all day long is people who are, they grow it great and then they rush it with the dry and they don't cure it and it ends up crap, okay? And so take this into account immediately. As soon as you're starting to plan whatever process, whatever stage that you are in the process of cultivation of cannabis at home, do your drying setup right now and get it right. Wherever y'all are out, for the 147 people here that are watching, I task every single one of you to get out there right now and go get your drying environment true and correct. Okay? Now, I know there's a lot of people like, well, Derek, I dry in the same tent that I used to harvest and all this stuff. I get all that. Okay? Drying properly is more important than growing it. Okay? And so, if you've spent $500 on your entire setup, spend $250 on the dry tent. Okay? It's that important. And we see 154 up here. Woohoo! Canatrolls. I see Tara Groves there suggested Canatrolls. If you can afford it, absolutely. If you're not trying to harvest 10 or 20 pounds at a time and all that kind of stuff, they're freaking great. They're amazing. I suggest if you can afford it, get one, y'all. Okay? They're good. But you're going to hear me say this over and over again, that drying your cannabis is almost and is more important than growing it. Okay? And so getting your drying environment correct and getting it dialed in, what does that mean? Okay, you'll hear me say it and you'll see everybody, there's lots of common knowledge and common information out there about the proper parameters and variables for a drying environment. What that's going to be is very slight and limited airflow. You do want air exchange. There's a difference between airflow and air exchange. I'll give y'all an example. If you have a tent and it's completely sealed and you have a fan, an oscillating fan blowing inside that tent, that's airflow, okay? Air exchange is hooking an exhaust fan to the top portal of that tent and having it suck that air out and draw fresh air in. It's like if you were to take that tent and just fill it full of smoke, whole thing full of smoke, and then turn the exhaust fan on. It'll exchange that air. The smoke will be gone and fresh air will be drawn in, okay? And so you want for your drying environment to be as close to 60 degrees Fahrenheit and 60% humidity with a very little airflow, if any at all, and a good exchange rate, okay? So that's most of the people here, most everybody nowadays is using 4 or 6 inch AC Infinity fans and controllers. So all you got to do is set your controller to 1 and have it be set it to the high limit of 60% humidity. What that's going to do is it's going to provide enough airflow and exchange rate in order to dry your cannabis at a slow rate. You do not want to dry your cannabis at a fast pace for a couple of reasons. You don't want to do it because the gaseous exchange of that water that's contained inside the leaf, okay, all the leaves, all the buds, when it comes out of the leaf and through the process of evaporation, it doesn't just go all clean and crisp out the stomata. Nah, it brings all kinds of stuff with it. It brings terpenes. It brings cannabinoids. Some people say it doesn't. I'm a believer that process of the gaseous exchange and the water leaving that leaf has a severe impact on what remains and what is left. That process is a pretty violent process at a microscopic level. Okay? And so it's ripping that water out of that stomata because they're not live. It's crazy. So what you want to do is you slow that process down so it's not as violent, and you get a lot of the things that we desire, the terpenes, the cannabinoids, and all the things that we want left behind and that we don't want taken in that process of evaporation and drying. We want those things to remain. Okay, and so the slower that you can do that, the better. The slower. Now, there is too slow, because what ends up happening is retaining those pockets of moisture for a long time will inevitably cause mold. Okay, so you want to get your plants dry to a point where they are dry enough to where, and I always recommend Grove bags because they're the easiest to use. Y'all know I always recommend going in a simple route. Okay, get your cannabis dried anywhere from 10 to 14 days, okay, with the max being about 16 or 17 that I ever like to go. If they're in my drying environment and they haven't completely dried, then I'll ramp it up just a little bit, or maybe even turn, you know what I mean, make it to where it's 50% humidity versus 60, and get that last little bit of moisture out of there to be able to put inside the Grove bags, okay? You can test your moisture level in your buds a couple of different ways. A lot of people know that I suggest using a pinned moisture meter. Hey babe, if you look in the top drawer on the TV, below the TV, the top right, I think I got a pinned moisture meter in there. It's a gray box looking thing. If not, I mean, it may be out in the greenhouse, I don't know. Using a pinned moisture meter to find out the internal moisture of your buds and your stems. You can do it that way. Another even easier way, and it's the way that I even probably do more nowadays, is just taking one of those small hygrometers. For folks that don't know, a hygrometer is something that measures humidity. Thermometer is something that measures temperature. Hygrometer measures water. How much water is in the air. So get you a hygrometer. One of the little ones, they're tiny. You can get them on Amazon for like $2 or something. They're little tiny ones. No, I don't think it's in there. Okay. Get one of those, and then throw that in whenever you've dried your cannabis properly. You put it in the Grove bag, and you seal it, and you monitor it. If it gets up to about 68 or so, open the Grove bag and let it breathe for a couple hours. Just let it burp for a couple hours, seal it up, and do it again. Once it reads wherever you want it, 63, 62, I prefer mine at about 58. That's the beauty of the Grove bag. When you get it and it settles to that, it will maintain that humidity forever. Keep that in mind. If you over dry it and it goes to 54%, you'll have to add stuff in there to try to keep it, then it can close the pores. Drying your cannabis properly is the most important step, folks. Okay? And learning how to do it consistently and being able to read your cannabis in the drying stage is almost as important being able to read it in the growing stage. And knowing when it's properly dried in a state where you can actually put it to a cure. Okay. Now, drying, again, you want it 60 degrees Fahrenheit and 60% humidity. When you first put that plant in that drying box, in that drying tent, in that closet, wherever you've got it, okay, it's gonna shoot that that humidity up. Tremendously. Okay, because it's a fresh plant. It's got a bunch of water in it. All right. And so then you might want to, for that first 24 hours, if your fan is having a hard time, if say the exhaust fan is consistently on and it's still above 65, 68 degrees, turn your fan up just a little bit more. And then that'll start getting it once you start seeing it cycle, where it'll pull it down below 60, it'll build back up, and then it'll start cycling on and off. That's what you're looking for. Okay. How long in the bags? Indefinitely. I mean, the longer the cure that the better. What's happening in that process is those harsh things like the starches, the chlorophylls, the chloroplasts, all those things are breaking down over time into sugars and into things into glucoses and glucosamines and things like that are more pleasurable and more palatable to the nose and to the mouth. Yeah. Hey, Jimmy, I get it. Lots of people use mason jars. And again, I'm always going to recommend the easiest ways to do something. And for me, that burping and having to use a glass jar versus a Grove bag is inherently more problematic. Let's see. I drive a 2x2 with a tiny fan and an inline duct fan pegged into an ink burr. Yep, there you go. Hey, that's awesome, man. And if you can find an environment, goddamn. Give me a second. I gotta move the old knee now. For anybody that's just joining along with us, I blew out my ACL and my LCL snowboarding on Sunday. And so I'm all gimped up in a cast. I'm probably gonna have to get surgery and all that good stuff. So if I've been a little late and or slow to respond to anybody or anything like that, it's just because I'm kind of dealing with some health stuff. So, and y'all give me 2 seconds while I rearrange where my knee is. There we go. That's better. Okay. All right. And so again, the drying process and getting your drying environment correct and as close to perfect as you can will do you so much good in your growing career, in your cannabis cultivation at home or wherever you choose to do it. Just trust me that getting in, what a lot of people have, and here we are, we're coming up into the warmer months for a lot of people. And so that's the main kind of thing that a lot of people have an issue with, is getting a space that's cool enough. I cannot recommend enough, folks, getting a small little window unit AC type situation. You can get them for like $150 on Amazon. It's the one that I have right here, actually. Check this out, y'all. Y'all can see it. That one right there. Okay? And y'all know, everybody know, y'all can see how big the space is in. This room, this is the multi-purpose room. It gets used for drying. It gets used, y'all have seen plants hanging in here. You see plants growing in here. But the reason I'm able to use it as a proper drying space is because I have that air conditioner in here, and I pre-planned. Okay, now not everybody has a place to put a window unit air conditioner or mount one into your wall when you build an addition. There's a lot of different ways, there's a lot of different models, there's a lot of different, things that you can do as far as the exhaust. That's what it is about an AC. Small little AC, always you have to exhaust it. Okay, or it doesn't do any good. Okay? Most of these things nowadays, they come with little attachments. You can take a little duct tape, make a little vent, and put it out a window. I'm not suggesting anyone do this, okay? I have done this in the past. I do not recommend you do this, especially if you were in a rental like I was. I just cut a hole in the ceiling. I've done it twice. I just cut a hole right in the ceiling. I shoved a duct right up in there, and then we were done. I plastered over it, and they never even knew it was a thing. I vented all of my air conditioner air right up into the ceiling, into the attic. Nobody was ever the wiser. Again, I don't recommend anyone cutting holes in their ceilings or walls, folks. It's just what I did in the past in order to make sure that my drying environment was true and correct. Yeah, Bob. There's Bob. Bob, what's up, Bob? Bob Adams there. He's had his Canistrol probably as long as anybody that I've actually known, who I talk with regularly. I know he loves it. And if y'all haven't ever seen those nice frosty cured buds out of that Canistrol that Bob has, shoot him a DM and he'll be happy to share them with you, or maybe he can make a post. But man, they're beautiful. They do a great job. They're phenomenal and fantastic. Jeffrey Vigstol, how can you home test for potency? There's a couple of different ways. The easiest way is what I've always referred to as a poor man's THC test. If you take 10 grams of material, bud, trim, whatever it is, and then you extract it, you do an extraction, and you're left with 2 grams of your extracted material, and that 2 grams is approximately 65 to 70% normally, you can kind of get a rough estimate. But then again, we're still just learning so much as to what causes potency. Okay, potency for me and potency for you could be 2 completely different things, and most likely are. Okay, and so that's, as you're seeing folks on here, smoke it. That's the easiest way. You know what I mean? And if I know it sounds kind of silly almost, but if you're not into extractions, and especially if you're in a legal state, there's a lot of places that do testing. I don't recommend any of the at-home testers, really, just because the process that they use, it's just kind of a guess. Okay? And so, Jason Parker, the best size Grove bag is one that allows you to always have at least 25% airspace. I always recommend getting one size bigger than you think you need. If you think you need the ounce bag, get the quarter-pound bag. If you think you need the quarter-pound bag, get the half-pound. If you think you need the half-pound, get the full-pound. What about a camper with the air unit that's already in it? Depends on how cold it can get. If you can get it to 60 degrees, heck yeah. It'll work great. Are you just saying using an old AC unit out of a camper? Yeah, absolutely. As long as it works, and it should work fine. There we go. I think I finally got my dang knee in a situation where I'm okay with it. Let's do a dab. Let's take a little dab break. I'm actually, as y'all know I love doing this. I love talking to you folks about growing pots. One of my favorite things in life to do. And I thought I was only going to be on here for like 10 or 15 minutes because, again, for those that are just joining us, I blew out my entire knee on Sunday snowboarding. But I'm still here with y'all because I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's do a dab. And let's keep talking about drying and curing cannabis. Dang it, Charles Morrison, why are you late? Y'all know I always like calling out the folks who want to announce to me that they didn't show up on time. All right. We got 176. If we get up 200, I'll give away some packs. I'll give away a couple packs. Yeah, it's funny. Stuart Rhino. So I got a new board. I got a new K2 Hypnotist board. It's actually right there. I'll see if I can see that. See, y'all can see the vehicle that did the damage. It's right there. It was actually this vehicle right here that did the damage. I'm trying to be cool. I got a new K2 Hypnotist, and like the board was described as launching you further than you think you're gonna go. They were right. They were definitely right there. There we go. You can actually see it. Yeah, that's the one that yeeted me. I call it my yeet machine. It yeeted me, as the kids say. I got yeeted off that jump. Yeah, I'm gonna probably need to take. Baby, will you come in here and move this fan? I'm just stupid and put a fan on top of my. Oh, sorry. All right. We're having, folks, for y'all just joining us, we're having issues kind of here at the Dream Farm because I blew out my ACL on Sunday while snowboarding. So, there we go. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, it was just the fan that was causing me the issues. So making sure that you dry your cannabis correctly and keeping those terpene degradation. All right, you do not want your terpenes to degrade. You want to preserve them. Terpene preservation is the name of the game when it comes to drying cannabis, and that's always going to be done at lower temperatures. Around 60 degrees is going to be the best. Around 60 degrees is going to be the best because, again, that's where we've shown that that tipping point of degradation of terpenes at certain temperatures. We found that 60 degrees is the best where it keeps all of them in check. Okay. Hell yeah. Edward Sizemore loves packs. I love packs too. Hey, I did, Jody. I'm not going to lie. This is a classic example of fucking around and finding out. I did. I mean, I really did. Y'all, like I said, if anybody wants to see the video, shoot me a DM. I was going to post it in the group, but it's kind of intense, and borderline, graphic. So, if you want to see it, let me know. Cause I'm still kind of proud of it. I mean, I sent it 15, 20 foot in the air off an X Games style jump that I had no business on. So, any precaution on harvesting the top half of the plant, letting the lower half go? Hell no. There is not in Kyle frame. I'm really glad you asked that question. That's what we refer to as a staggered harvest. Completely 100% acceptable and doable, and it serves a very good purpose, especially with autoflowers. In that those tops being that they will be much more developed and they'll be done, and then you'll have some lower stuff that if you just let it go another week or two, it'd be great. Do exactly that. Oh. Oh yeah, tornadoes. Hopefully everybody got safe from tornadoes. I know Brad Bick, he had a tornado come through and lost power. Hopefully he's got power back. Come on, 200, where you all at? I don't know if we're going to get there.
We'll be in Kerrville.
We'll be in Kerrville this weekend. Coming up for the eclipse. Hopefully the weather will play along and everybody will get to see a super awesome cosmic event. We'll see how that goes. Jeffrey Vigstol, about 28% in optimal conditions is what we always go for here at the Dream Farm. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Generally speaking, that's you can see 28% or more in perfect conditions. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at here at the Dream Farm, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and get off my knee. It's starting to bother me. So I'm gonna go and get back on the couch and get to watching some baseball and chilling out. If anybody wants to see that video, let me know. Shoot me a DM. I'll shoot it to you. I kind of like to see it. Hey, Dalton, but you're late. Good grief, Dalton Carter. We've all been here for like an hour. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're about to log off. For everybody that is always coming on late, y'all know that I don't know where the 9,000 people that are in this group, I don't know where y'all all live. And so when I say 4:20, I mean my time. I don't know y'all's time. I mean my time. 4:20 Mountain Time. Here in Colorado, 4:20 is when it is. So that's where we're at. That's what's up. Like I said, I'm going to get back to the couch and get to getting this knee healed up, and hopefully it won't keep me down for too long, but it will never keep me from my people. Now, with that being said, I don't know. Okay, I do know. I'm not going to have a Tate next week on Tuesday. Probably going to have it on Wednesday, just because we're going to be driving back from Texas. I'll schedule the event, do the event like I normally do, and I know no matter what, I'm still going to get people saying, where's Tate? And I very well could just do a little short one as we're driving. If I have service, we'll see. But again, we're going to be traveling on next Tuesday, so just be aware of that situation. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. We're going to get out of here. We love y'all. We'll see you out there in the Dream Farms. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to shoot me a DM here on Facebook. Shoot me an email, make a post, tag me in that post, or hit the Ask the Breeder button on our website. Love y'all. We'll see you out there in the dream world. Woohoo!